So guys, this is from the 5th, so it's 5 days old. No, I guess it's like 4 days. 4.5. I don't know when they're going to drop this. Hopefully not tomorrow, because there's definitely like some changes that I think could still be made. But this is now an art stream and a queue stream. This is my queue. Over an hour long. I've been queuing PTR since 11 o'clock. It is now 12:15. And this is the problem. Alright, if anyone needs any questions as to why there's a number scrolling, this is actually my game dropped and we're still queuing. Alright, patch notes. Emote wheel. General updates. Players can now equip up to 4 sprays voice lines in the hero gallery. Okay, so now you can say oops, sorry. The boy with the broken arm with like the check mark or whatever his name is, like, yeah, thumbs up. Or you can spray like your inappropriate whatever voice line or spray that you have. So in terms of the spray meta, you can BM a little bit harder, so that's cool. Emotes, I mean, most heroes only have like 5 fonts anyway. Not really sure how useful this is. Like at that point, like what's the point? Not really sure why you would be able to taunt with 4 different ones. Like maybe your teammates could combo sprays really well or something for taunts, but as far as like 4 taunts, cool. I mean, voice lines too. I don't know why they're focusing on this. Like, I mean, I understand that this might have just been like a really easy feature to implement. Like once you make the spray wheel for one thing, I'm sure equipping it to like applying it to emotes and voice lines was probably really simple. But in the grand scheme of things, I would have said that this is probably one of the more useless changes that they've made. Or like in terms of like, what am I supposed to say about it? I would have rather they just copied the Dota model where like you can bind different like in-game voice lines. You could say like, I regret my decision, or you can say like oops or sorry or current time, or it was like Roshan, like all these like useful things. Like imagine if you could say like, I have my ult, or like ult on cooldown, or push now, or back up, or I don't know what would be the last one. Die on the cart. Like if I combine that, that would be a good use of a spray or of like a voice line wheel. As is, like saying oops or like Nesome Shadow Moya, like I don't want to say that. Like I want to say useful things for competitive gaming, not silly voice lines. So I'm against the emote wheels. This is just silly to me. Yeah, simple geometry. Aardvark pays off, you know, like that's not really useful when it comes to gaming. It's cool for casual players, but really useless. Especially since you can't even equip skins in ranked, or in pro games rather. Players can now bind individual sprays, emotes, and voice lines to unique keys. So again, you can bind your oops to like mouse 5. You can bind sorry to mouse 4. I'm not, whatever, cool. Yeah, let's get into the actual patch notes. That was kind of a troll, but not really a troll. I would actually like a good voice line. Catchphrase, mada mada mada. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Is this easy mode? Like, I don't need a key to say that. Like, that's never gonna be a thing. Okay, let's just focus on this for a second. Fire grenade. Healing boost on allies has been decreased by 50%. Cool. Healing boosts from Anna's biotic grenade was providing too much healing, especially when used on targets with large health pools. Okay, this is like this is only like one problem out of like 100 problems. Okay, in my eyes, this is not enough at all. I mean, again, I haven't played. As you can tell, I still have not played. So from a conceptual standpoint, there's like multiple problems with Anna, right? The first problem being that you're in Anna, you're like over here. So like you're unflanked, you're like in the back of the map, like I don't know what map this is. Maybe this is like Dorado. Here's in the back, like here's the door behind you, the gate, whatever, where like the cart goes through, and like there's the door over here, and then there's like the stairs right here. You just stand right here, and you're pretty much untouchable. You can like even back up into here, and then there's like the hallway, like the other hallway, and then they connect, and you like come around here, and then there's like the fountain. Like you're just Anna, and you just sit here, right? You don't even have to do anything. You literally just sit here. Alright, Anna's flanking, whatever. You guys don't need to see it. My face is in the way. It's fine. You guys asked for this. We'll move Anna up a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Here's the fountain, though, okay? And here's the choke on Dorado. Come up this way. Part comes up here, right? And you have, like, the staircase. And there's your stairs. And you have, like, the back alley. And then you have that area over here where you can walk. And then it connects over here to the stairs. Then over here is the door, and then it connects to that. Like, here's Dorado, right? This is pretty much Dorado. And here's, like, where all the pinatas and stupid shit are. So you're Anna, and you're just standing here because you're Anna. You don't have to do anything. You just stand here. Okay? And then your Reinhardt's, like, standing right here, and here's Reinhardt, and he's putting up a shield. And then here's your Roadhog, and he's just standing right here spamming because he's a Roadhog, and he just peeks this little corner every now and then when he wants to get healed. Maybe you have like a 76 standing like right here who's like shooting this way. But you're just Anna, you know? So let's talk about what you can do against this. And get a hook currently. That's cool. You can try a dive comp, but you're still gonna lose because of Anna. Like Anna healing nuke, like negating heals is like the biggest problem, I think. I would rather them nerf healing nuke to be like the enemy or the teammate receives like 50% less heals instead of like no heals. Like, this is gonna be a long-winded rant, alright? This is actually gonna be a long-winded rant. But let's talk about numbers just for a second. Like, and this is like a fundamental problem. You guys are gonna think like, oh my god, Flame wants to change the game so much, blah 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 blah. And people are gonna be like, he's an idiot, he just wants to play TF2 again. But there's like fundamental core issues here. Okay, the first issue is that damage in this game is like very bursty. Okay, you have heroes like McCree, and McCree has his like Peacemaker, and he like hits 2 headshots, right? 2 headshots is usually a kill. Okay, 2 headshots. Then you have 76, and you can do like 2 shots plus a helix, and that's like a kill times like 200. This is just to get 200 damage done, right? 200 damage is like 2 to 3 shots and a helix rocket if you hit headshots. 2 headshots, 2 shots in a helix rocket, a flashbang. You have Hog. Hog just like hooks you or hits right click. He's just Hog. You don't have to do anything. He's just Hog. He just insta kills you. Insta kill, insta kill, insta kill. Tracer can 1 clip you in like half a second as a 200 HP hero. 1 clip. This is like super fast. Again, you can just like hold them down for half a second. You don't kill any, like, everything just dies very quick. These are all kills you can get within like one to one, not even like 0.5 to 1 second. Okay, that's how fast it takes to get all of these kills for the hero. Genji doesn't really have this ability. He has his burst, but it's not as simple, obviously, so I won't really put Genji on this list. Reaper can 2-shot you. He can just literally hit one. He can hit like 1 to 2 shots depending on how much HP the person has. So he can actually just 1-shot you. Widow, 1 shot. Who else is in the game? This is against 200 HP heroes. But who's the last hero or what am I not thinking about? Hanzo? 1 arrow, 2 arrows. These all kill you in like half a second. May like freeze and right click. 1 to 2 shots maybe 1 shot depending on which hero you are. So like all these heroes just kill you in half a second. Like in reality, right? Like fundamentally, what's the point of healing if you die in 1 second? Like the amount of you can't out heal a scatter arrow, all right? So like if you're an Anna right now, you can't out heal a scatter arrow. Fuck, I keep picking the wrong color. can't out heal Scatter Arrow. You can out heal this if you're like really on top of it. You can out heal this if you're on top. You can't out heal this. You can maybe out heal this. Can't really out heal this. Can't out heal this, and you can kind of out heal Mei. But the point being that like everything just dies way too fast in this game. Like the damage is too high, I think, across the board. So it creates this problem where like 200 HP heroes either need like super crazy mobility or survivability or like really, really good positioning. And that like allows you to not die, right? Because you're in the back and like you're not going to take damage. But like if a Roadhog meets any of these heroes, it's a lot harder for him to die, right? Like except for maybe Hanzo and Hog, and not even Hog. It's just really Hanzo, right? Like Hanzo's the only person that can insta-gib a Hog, kind of. He doesn't actually insta-gib him, but again, you get the point, right? Like if you just run tanks, you're not gonna die, right? Like or you'll die slower. So then healing becomes like it makes sense at that point because healing actually mattered because you're not getting bursted. Like if a 76 looks at you and you're a Zenyatta or a Mercy or an Ana, maybe not really Ana. Well, yeah, maybe Ana. Like if you get looked at by like any of these heroes, depending on the range, you're just dead before anything happens. You're actually just dead. There's like nothing you can do about it. You just got shot a few times and you're dead. McCree flashbangs 2 headshots you, you're dead. Like Hanzo Skyroger, you're dead. Tracer 1 clips you, you're dead. Like Reaper 2 shots you, you're dead. There's like healing doesn't fucking matter at that point because you're not healing through that. So you just have healing dead. Okay, so healing has like a fundamental problem there. So then you put in then you start putting tanks in the equation. Okay, like now the tanks don't die to this. Like Reinhardt doesn't have to worry about this, and then Roadhog doesn't really have to worry about this. Diva doesn't have to worry about this. Like you actually get value out of healing against these heroes because they can't insta give you in half a second. So now tanks become a lot more like valuable on defense because you can run 4 of them because again you can just like sit them in these chokes and nothing can really flank you and nothing can burst you down because Ana can always out heal it. Like Ana can out heal the DPS of these heroes against tanks because you have the nuke, you have the left click. Even the left click is super good. So if you're not killing things, Ana becomes a lot better. But you wouldn't run non-tank heroes because if you ran non-tank heroes, you open yourself up to dying to all of these possibilities. This is just a list of like 7 ways you can die in half a second. So you need tanks. Like the fact that DPS does so much damage in such a short amount of time makes healing really bad, which makes holding really bad, which makes like these heroes really bad because they just die to each other. So from a stability standpoint, it makes sense to run tanks because they're not going to die to these heroes. Like this is literally 6 or 7 heroes that aren't going to get kills now. And then you have a hero that's keeping them alive. So now you have this problem of like, how do I actually kill these heroes? And there's no way to do it. So because the fact that healing is so high and damage is so high, you wind up in this predicament where since the damage is so high, you need to run heroes that don't die to a lot of damage. And then you have one hero that just makes those heroes unkillable anyway. Like in reality, you would want to run DPS heroes against tanks, right? Because it's like, oh, these guys have a lot of HP. I want to run a lot of damage. But then you can't run a lot of damage because the amount of damage that you'd have to pump out to negate Ana's heals is so high. But 50, like even without the Ana nuke, it's still a lot. Like you still can out heal like a Tracer's DPS or a McCree's DPS on a Reinhardt or a Roadhog, like without the nuke. The nuke is just icing on the cake. The problem with the nuke though is that it's the only way to get kills right now because things are getting healed too much. So if you just take away heals, then suddenly things like start dying, obviously, right? Because Ana's just keeping everything alive all the time. But Ana can't keep these heroes alive because these heroes just die to each other and get bursted down by Roadhog anyway, and Earth Shatters and Pins, and like all these really, really fun concepts, right? So like you remove all of these heroes from the game because they're not good enough to kill these heroes, but they kill each other really fast, so you don't really want to run them. So that's like a whole separate issue, actually, like that whole DPS. But that's why you run tanks. You run tanks on defense because you can't actually pump out enough damage reliably on offense to kill them. So now you have this predicament where there's actually no real way to out damage the tanks. Like, I think what I'm trying to get, what I'm like working towards is I think you have to nerf DPS, and I think you need to nerf healing. Like, both of them, actually at the same time. Like, not like just one or the other. I think you need to nerf both of them. I think, like, I don't think Ana should be able to out damage or out heal the damage from a McCree left click. Like, I think if you like took like 5 shots at somebody and you hit like 2 headshots, they should die. I don't care who's healing them. Like, that, like in TF2, I mean, I'm going to compare to TF2 a lot. You're going to be like, oh my god, just play TF2. But in TF2, right, if you wanted to kill somebody, you had to like hit like 3 or 4 shots. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I looked at the scout and he just died, right? You had to like hit a rocket, you had to like hit another rocket. If you were scout, you had to hit like 3 shots, maybe 2 or 3 shots. In this game, you have to hit like 1 shot, maybe like 2. So like, there's no real skirmishing when it comes to DPS classes because it's either you're dead or you're alive. Like, there's no in between. There's no like firefights in this game. Like, there's very few times where you get into fights that like last more than half a second because of the way that DPS versus DPS works. It's like whoever takes the first shot is like generally in a pretty good position. So you need to like nerf the damage of the tanks. You just need to nerf damage across the board, and then you need to nerf healing. So like fights last longer, and that healing doesn't keep the tanks alive through the DPS. Like in an ideal scenario, you want to be able to run like Tracer into Roadhog or something. And then there's no way, for, like if Hog can heal himself or whatever, but if like 2 people shoot a Hog, an Ana shouldn't be able to out heal that damage. And then the heroes shouldn't be able to like kill each other so fast that the healing doesn't make sense anyway. So there's like, I honestly think that there's a huge disparity right now in that conceptual or like the fundamental concept of damage versus healing in this game is like way too high. Like they kept buffing hero damage, and then to like make up for it, they kept buffing healing. But like the healing is now super high because the damage is super high. But I don't know why the damage is super high. Like if you nerf Ana's healing, I don't really think it'll make that big of a difference because there's still the problem of damage being too high versus like the damage to do. Like I'm like getting lost in my words, but pretty much what I'm trying to say is that the damage between the DPS classes comes down to like 1 shot generally. So you don't want to run that on defense because if you're on defense, you have to live. So you can't reliably run heroes that instantly get killed. So that's why you run tanks, because you just need to live. As long as the cart's not moving, you're winning, right? It doesn't matter like anything else that happens. As long as the cart doesn't move, you win. Like there was a VOD, I think like Ammunition posted it. It was on the Overwatch Reddit, and it was like offense gets 35 kills, defense gets 6, but defense wins. Because like defense just survived. Like if you're just alive, you're winning the game in this game. Like you don't even have to get kills. So that's kind of the strength of the tanks right now. And then the fact that there's no way to really kill them that doesn't involve you dying to Roadhog hooks or Earthshatter pins or like D.Va Matrix. Like D.Va can out DPS everything. So like suddenly D.Va's too tanky. You have the damage from D.Va's way too high. Like versus these heroes, even versus these heroes can't really kill D.Va fast. Especially when Ana can out heal the damage from all of these combos. Actually, when you get into like the numbers of like the bursts from these heroes, because Ana doesn't care, right? Like Ana just keeps holding down left click, and then you have Reinhardt Shield that blocks the rest of the damage that comes in. You have Roadhog who just heals himself, that blocks more damage. Like Roadhog's effective HP is like 900 when he starts playing. And then you have D.Va who just holds right click. So suddenly that's 3 heroes that just don't die. And then 76 has self heal, he can just sit in the back. Like it's really hard to get to him. So like I think you need to nerf all healing, not just like this thing. I think you nerf the nuke, because the nuke is actually really dumb. Because I hate the concept of like healers. Or not healers. I hate the concept of a healer that can be good against flanking. Like, back when Widow was overpowered, one of the biggest problems I had was the concept of the Widow Mine. Because, like, you had this ability to scout now. Like, in most games, the snipers are the heroes that, like, you're supposed to be able to flank. Like, you're supposed to be able to flank snipers. Like, that's a thing in video games. You flank snipers. But not in Overwatch. In Overwatch, it's like, oh, we thought Widow would be weak to flankers, so we gave her a mine and a grapple hooks that she can just use whenever she wants to get away from flankers. Like, okay, so how do you kill Widowmaker? Well, you don't. Okay, cool. And then same with Anna. It's like, oh, she's a sniper. Well, but what if she gets flanked? And then, oh, she just, throws her sleep dart. And if she hits something, it's a free kill. Like, what? Why? And then nuke. Like, if I throw this grenade at somebody, they just become... Their effective HP drops from like 200 to 50. Like, if you're a tracer. Like, you can't rewind anymore. It's just bad. So, like, you need to nerf healing across the board, or at least for her. I don't know if Zenyatta's healing is too much or if Mercy's is too much. I know for a fact that in beta, you used to be able to out damage Mercy heal as like McCree. Like, you could like flashbang and like right click and it would like out damage the Mercy heal. I'm down with like Transcendence being the way it is. I'm down with like Harmony Orb being the way it is. Like, I don't know if Harmony Orb is super strong. I don't play enough Zenyatta to like comment on that, but I think in general the like baseline should be McCree's left click damage is like where you want to be, I think, in terms of like DPS. I think you like nerf headshots across the board because I don't like headshots are, again, it's just like, it's kind of like random crits when you get into the nitty gritty of it when it comes to like shotguns in this game and stuff. But I don't think that this does anything. This is like a shitty band-aid. Like, it's crazy to me that they would nerf this in this way, but not the fact that it literally removes healing. But the problem is that, like, if you remove the fact that it doesn't stop, like, if it didn't stop healing, right, nothing would die. Like, the tank mana would be even worse. So, like, they don't know how to solve this problem, but the problem, it's like a fundamental problem that DPS is too high and then healing is too high. And that, like, creates, like, this scenario where half the heroes aren't playable. So you have to, like, this fix isn't going to do anything. Like, this will actually do nothing in the grand scheme of, like, changing the meta, or like this patch note is arguably worthless in my opinion. That's like in my opinion, not to be like, oh my god, Flame's wrong. Like, I don't know. I think that this doesn't do anything. This is like a shitty band-aid. This is like taking away Lucio's damage. It doesn't change anything. Okay, rant over, right? D.Va. Health increase from 2 to 4, armor decrease from 4 to 2. Fusion cannonage, bullet damage decreased from 3 to 2. Number of bullets per shot has been increased from 8 to 11. So you shoot 11 bullets per left click. They do 2 damage. You do 22 damage instead of 24. D.Va's armor made her feel like she had no weaknesses, even against heroes that are often effective against bigger targets, like Reaper. Alright, what does this do against Reaper? This actually does nothing. I don't know. Doesn't do anything. Changes to her fusion cannons will result in a small overall increase in damage, but decrease in damage, but they should feel more consistent now. Again, this is like a band-aid. I mean, this is good because she'll die more. Like, her effective HP went down. But like the nerf to armor against Reaper, like, there's still the problem of right click. Like, Reaper doesn't really shoot. I mean, I understand the concept of armor, like lowerness, like lowering the, but like the reason why Reaper's bad against D.Va isn't because Reaper can't like break her damage. Like, you're not gonna run Reaper now. Like, this change doesn't make you pick Reaper, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm waiting for you guys to like give me an explanation as to why you think Reaper will get picked more. I agree that it'll make Reaper's shotguns do more damage to D.Va, but it's not gonna make you pick Reaper. So this doesn't make a difference. Like, the only thing that matters is that, first of all, 76 can kill her a little bit faster, which is good. Yeah, Reaper doesn't get picked because of Soldier. And, like, it's a combo. It's like, you run Reaper, 76 shits on you, and then you run Reaper and D.Va just right-clicks your ult. So I don't think you win. So there's, like, this doesn't make sense. The way you make Reaper better is if you let him pop Wraith form during hook or something, like while he's being hooked, so he like gets hooked and then doesn't die. If he could like come out of Wraith form and kill a Reaper or kill a Hog, he'd be picked all the time. But no. You're not picking Reaper against D.Va. The only thing that this does is make her slightly less survivable and make her damage slightly worse, which is fine, I guess, but she will die to Tracer more easily. She'll die to McCree. Not really. McCree's kind of not really touched much at all because McCree could shred through anyway with headshots. It makes the 76 fight a little bit better for 76. It makes the Hog hooks do a little bit more damage. It doesn't really change the problem of her just having an unknown uptime on her ult or on her right click. I think one of the biggest problems right now with D.Va is that you can't tell what the charge of her right click is. Like you almost can't know, like when Zarya has full charge, not like ult, like when she's charged, you can like tell, you know. But when D.Va has Matrix up, you can't tell when she, like what her Matrix is at. Like I think that's one of my biggest problems with her is that it's like an unknown. Like when Roadhog uses hook, it's like, okay, he has 6 seconds. He can't use it now. I have 6 seconds to push him. Like, I know I'm not going to die in these 6 seconds. But with D.Va, it's like, oh, she used Matrix, but I don't actually know how much left she has on it. I can't really play around it, so it makes that feel kind of weird. I think that that's one of the problems. Like, I think that there should be, like, some sort of, like, color or, like, charge coding or something to, like, see what her Matrix is or something. Like, just some crazy thing, like maybe it turn like her suit glows yellow or something if it's at 50% and like red if it's at 25, so that this way I can get it to red, then pop aimbot, and then I know for a fact it's not up, and like I can play around it that way. I think that'd be cool. But or like bait your hook for when it was red. Like there's better ways to nerf her than this. I don't think she needs 600 HP at the end. But as far as whether or not this will make a difference, I think she'll still get picked. Like she's still a tank. She still negates damage. It goes back to the damage versus health thing. Like if you can out heal the damage that you're taking, you're still gonna run the hero because defense is all about living, not about getting kills. And when the DPS can't kill the tanks and then the tanks can't die, then you wind up in a spot where we are right now, where it's just a world of tanks. I don't really want to talk about this though that much. She's gonna be worse against. Like she'll die. Like this is a big nerf to her effective HP, but it's not the end of the world because Anna's still a factor and like you still get your HP back. Okay, Roadhog. Chain hook targets are now pulled directly in front of Roadhog. Hook targets now released if they relieve line of sight. Line of sight checks are now done from Roadhog's position rather than the hook's position. So what's interesting is that it tells you why it was broken before, because it would just check where the hook was, not even where you were. So if there was like line of sight from where the hook was thrown to like where the person was, or like where the hook was to where the person was, then it would hook them, but not where the Roadhog was. So like it's weird. Hook targets are now released if they leave. I mean, I played around with this in PTR for like the 5 games that I was able to play. But it felt kind of bad, I guess, because you could like corner peek, and then you wouldn't really die. You could just like keep sidestepping, and then like you got hooked. You would like just be behind a wall or a tree or something, and then your hook wouldn't go through. So I thought that was kind of silly. Like you don't want hook to be bad, obviously. But trying to read this link. post. Oh. Oh yeah, they're fixing this though. I saw this before, but that's getting fixed. The thing is, like, if you hit a hook now, you'll get the kill every single time. So that's kind of cool. Like, it's buffed in certain situations. Like, now you can play Roadhog from high ground, and you don't really have to worry about getting hooked from low ground. Which, like, buffs... Which is like a nerf buff, in a way. If you consider it, like, imagine you're on Dorado 2, and you're standing on the high ground. The odds of you getting hooked down through your head is pretty slim. And same with, like, those hooks on Route 66 on Big Earls. Like, there's like that stupid spot where you can just like throw a hook and then you get a kill because it like latches somehow, but that won't happen anymore. But the Roadhog on the high ground will generally be able to always maintain line of sight. So it makes high ground hog really good, but it makes low ground hog pretty bad. So it's like a buff if you're on defense, but it's a nerf if you're on offense, arguably. But then again, like, how do you kill? That goes back, and then you go back to the problem again. Like, now, how do you kill that defensive Roadhog? I don't know. You're supposed to go Reaper, right? Like, that's kind of the thing. You're supposed to go Reaper, but you can't go Reaper because you just die anyway. So they need to, like, fix Reapers and Hogs interaction, I think, in some way. I don't know how to do it. But now when you hit hooks, the Ana's never going to live anymore. I like this change. I mean, I don't think Roadhog's a dead hero. I think he just takes a little bit more finesse. I don't think that this makes him dead by any means. I think you'll still run him on defense. Like, offensive hog might be a little bit more risky just because of the fact, like, again, if there's a hog on the high ground, you don't really want to go hog on the low ground. But hog on the high ground is going to be really good now because if you have, like, big open spaces and stuff, like, you can do a lot. You can still run this hero and it'll still be, like, really hard to punish because you'll need to run, like, a diva or something to go kill him. Or like a Reaper or a Tracer even. I don't know how you kill him now. Like, Tracer might be really good now against him because you can blink while he's hooking and then, like, there's a better chance of you not getting hooked through a wall or something. But it's definitely a nerf buff. But again, you're still gonna run Hog, I think, on defense because why would you not? Because you still can't kill him. Like, he still has right click. Like, right click still breaks shields. Like, he still has the best shield break in the game. Diva can't kill Hog anymore. Hog shreds Diva like crazy. I mean, it depends on the Ana situation, right? Like, everything depends on the Ana. I mean, every hero can, like, arguably win a 1v1 with the other one, like Reinhardt versus Hog and stuff. It's, like, really just dependent on, like, where the Ana is when all this is going down. It's gonna be a shitty link. What is this? Yeah, I saw this. Again, this is why, like, high ground Hog will be really good, low ground will be pretty bad. You won't really want to push with Roadhog. We might want to push. I want to hold Roadhog. I don't know. I'm not against this. I think this is fine. I think Roadhog was really dumb for a while. There was, like, a long series of time during beta where you would just, like, get hooked through 5 walls and pulled through a door that didn't exist, and, like, it would just create, like, some stupid scenario where you were just dead because you, like, peeked a corner for half a second and it, like, pulled you through 2 cars, a door, and a box, and you were like, okay, I'm dead now. And this game's all about picks, so a hero that could give you picks through walls with bullshit hooks, I don't think it's a dead hero. I think the shield break is still really good. The right click is still really good. The left click is obviously still really good. Whole Hog is still a great ability at the end of the day when it comes to, like, breaking shields or countering ults or, like, pushing people away or, like, stopping Reinhardt charges and, like, all these different things you can do with it. So I think Hog's still fine. You'll get kills easier. Like, when you get a hook now, something's going to die. It makes Zarya a little bit more reliable too because now you, like, shouldn't have to have your shield up super often because they'll still, like, they'll miss hooks now. But I'm down with Roadhog changes. Hack. The time it takes to hack a target has been decreased from 1 to 0.8 seconds. Okay. I mean, Sombra's problem isn't the hack. Like, getting hack off isn't an issue, really. Her issue is, like, her gun just feels awful. Like, you have to, like, almost track perfectly. Not that that's an issue, but the range on it is weird. Like, you want to be super close, but you don't have that much HP, and that goes back to the damage versus healing. Like, can you out heal it? Can you out damage an Ana reliably? Not really. Like, the odds of you winning a 1v1 with an Ana even is pretty slim. When she comes out of invis, there's like this huge ass noise that it makes. Like, I don't know why. I'd rather her be more stealthy, but it takes way too long for her to pop out of invis too. Oh yeah, dude, I saw the backwards wall ride, but whatever. I don't know. This isn't gonna change anything. Sombra's not gonna get picked anymore. Like, any more than she already was. Again, it goes back. Like, you'd rather run Tracer to get kills than Sombra. Sombra's like very reliant on cooldowns. Like, generally speaking, you can't use your translocator during a fight because you have to have it pre-set up. So like, your rewind doesn't even bring you somewhere good. You can't like predict where your rewind's gonna be. The nice thing about Tracer is that you can like use your rewinds to get positioning. You can like be on the high ground, dive on the low ground, do a little bit of damage, like maybe get someone down to like 50 HP, and then rewind and get back on the high ground, then go in again. But with Sombra, it's not as cut and dry. It's like you almost have to plan your rewind, but it doesn't feel good. She feels clunky, and this doesn't change anything. Her gun feels bad, her invis feels bad, her translocator cooldown feels really awkward. There's like something bad about it, the fact that it resets when you use it, not when you plant it. Which I don't like either. Like, it should just be a set cooldown. You should only have like X amount of seconds. Her kit doesn't feel good at all. Whatever. Stay as a team button lights up when anyone on your team clicks it. Nobody uses this. I don't think I've ever used it. Maybe you guys have used it, but there's way better ways to find friends to play with. Ability icons are now displayed. This is nice. Ultimate abilities are now indicated with an orange arrow. Also nice. Headshot eliminations are indicated with a red icon. Also nice. The font, though, is awful. There's a bug right now where it'll be like, this will be your screen. It'll be like respawning in 10. I don't know, in 10 seconds or something. It'll be like 9, 8, and like this number will keep going down, and then like this will be the gameplay. But then the kill feed is up here, and then there's like a fade here, like a alpha layer of like 75% transparency or something, and it goes over the kill feed, so when you're respawning you can't read it. That's a bug, or that's a problem. The font is really bad. Again, I don't know why they don't just copy the TF2 colors. Like, TF2 is really good when it comes to fonts and colors. Like, I literally would remake the TF2 HUD like every day for like a year or two. It was literally like 5 years. I just kept redoing that stupid HUD. And you could do a lot with like just off colors. Like, you don't need to match the blue and the red 100%. You can like do some really weird colors that like look good on stream, and like you can put backgrounds on things. I don't know, the UI looks really bad up here. Kill feed looks bad. The score thing looks bad. The countdown timers look bad. Like, they need to find better colors. And probably better alias fonts, or anti-alias fonts rather, but whatever. But one day we'll get custom HUDs. Probably not, but maybe. Alright, bug fixes. Fix a bug that the player spectators, team, whatever. Fix a bug that caused the mouse forward button to back during menu navigation. Whatever. Fix the bug. Warcraft, whatever. Fix the bug preventing players from receiving XP when playing off-season games. Alright, none of these are anything good. So unless you guys have any questions, that about wraps it up. Where are we at? Oh, classic. An hour 50 minutes. One thing that I will say that I think I wish was a thing was like crit heals, like in TF2. Like, I wouldn't mind overheals, and I wouldn't mind crit heals. Overheals might be too strong, so maybe they're a bad idea. That goes back to the damage thing. But crit heals, I think, would be better. Like, if you took damage, you get healed less than if you didn't take damage. That might be cool. Wouldn't crit heals only really help tanks? Well, not if crit heals were like the way it was right now. Like, if the max was what it is right now, and then like you didn't get healed a lot if you were taking damage, be good. DPS crit heals were really good though. I think soldiers the worst, the biggest barrier for balancing? No, I think like just headshot. I think the headshot, like the damage versus health pool concept in this game is really off balance. I think that the time to kill is still way too small. I think like even when it takes tanks, like you wind up in a spot where tanks don't die, but it's more because of the fact that like you can't consistently run DPS heroes to kill them. Like the heroes that are supposed to kill the tanks still don't do enough damage to the tanks, but they do enough damage to each other. First spot. What do I think of damage indicators? I don't hate them. I mean, they're okay. I wish you could like see your teammates' ult percentages though, like when you hit tab instead of just like guessing. Like I wish it wasn't like, oh, I have ult or I don't have ult. Like I would actually just win all my games if I could see who had 70% or 80% before a team fight. Like I would never lose. I don't think I'd ever lose a game. I mean, that's obviously a cocky thing to say, but it'd be really easy to win games if I could say like, oh, Zarya has Graviton, so we can use our Shower this fight because I don't give a shit because the Zarya will get Graviton next fight. But like you don't know that stuff in pubs. Even pro players don't always have the best comms and like wind up in situations where they don't play around stuff like that. But I think the UI needs to be like more user friendly in terms of like telling your teammates information that they should be able to have access to. Like if I can hit Z and tell my teammates my ult, why can't they just hit tab? Or like why can't the game just have a UI that tells them that? I don't know. Why do you think they didn't implement damage indicators? I don't know. I think there's a lot of random shit in this game too. Like there's a lot of like random damage. Yeah, I mean the Junkenstein hero status bar was like one of the best things I've ever tried. If I want to keep it a secret, whatever, man. But yeah, that's that. We're done. I'll post this on YouTube tomorrow. You guys can upvote it. Live our lives. Like, follow, subscribe. Join my Discord. Thanks for watching this. This is for the YouTubers. Love you all.